So, Spud, Ireland has the highest cases of COVID in the entire world right this moment.
Champions,
We finally done it. We've done it. We've achieved something.
Champion.
That's so ridiculous. In the world, per million people, we have more people with COVID than anyone else.
How did that happen?
It's the equivalent of America having 400,000 cases a day.
You guys, you were doing so well. You know, you were doing so well.
Yeah, what happened was we stopped listening to the people who know what the
Christmas.
Yeah. And so we have what are called NEPET or whatever kind of weird name that is. I'm sure, well, it's an acronym. But I said, don't open the fucking pubs and restaurants around Christmas because people are going to mingle anyway because it's Christmas. And the government went, oh, we're going to open the pubs and the restaurants and we're going to carry everything. But in a kind of a shitty way of going, we'll open the pubs and restaurants and everything else, but like, don't go. Like,
don't go, yeah.
Yeah, don't go. But if they're open, they're safe, right? Yeah, they're absolutely safe, but don't go. And in fairness, I went there for me.
Yeah, you went, Tommy.
And I got COVID. So.
Yeah. So, but
they were on the news yesterday saying that they didn't, that they actually did follow the advice given, which like.
No, you didn't. Liars, you absolute fucking liars. Yeah, I don't know what's going on over here, to be honest. I know that when it started, I didn't know this, that a friend of ours, she lives in Warsaw in a massive block, fucking, it's at least 10 feet in the air, one of those really big Lego ones, you know? 10, right. What did I say? 10 feet, 10 stories. 10 feet.
Lego building.
And she was telling us that at the start of it, there was like police and army helicopters going around saying, everyone stay at home, don't leave your house, in English. I have no idea why.
No one understood what was going on. That was bad policy from the start.
It's very, but like that'd freak out, like. And then she was like, because she's on the 10th floor, like she can't walk, you know, she has to take the lift, and you're like, oh god, how do you press the buttons on the lift, kind of thing. Yeah, no, and there's stuff like when it got really bad there was, you know, lines of ambulances outside of hospitals, and you can't get in because there's no beds, and people die in the ambulance and fucking nasty shit like that. It's horrible, but like, look, we got to be coming. I don't know if we are coming to the. I think it's going to be. There's a website over here in Poland, and you can put in your details.
And it tells you how long you have left to live, like from the IT credits.
More or less. It gives you a kind of a rough estimation, you know.
Yeah, Thursday, and, have to.
It tells you. More or less when you're going to have the vaccine. So I think I'm down for May sometime because of the asthma. But sure, the boss woman, she's not down until August.
Yeah.
And you get the first one in August, so it could be like the last weekend of August, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, then you get second one. So it could be into September. Yeah,
well, it's looking likely that we're going to get the 3 different vaccines now because the new one's going to be rushed through as well. The one that if you give a dose now, you're 62%. You know. What's the word? Not gonna get it. But if you give half a dose now and then a full dose in a month, it's 98% or something.
Aye.
So we've 3 different. The big one that's going to be here is the Moderna one. Is that how it's pronounced? Rather than the the Michelle Pfeiffer one. But like, I don't know. There's parts of me that like, because I'm definitely not a conspiracy person anymore at all. But at the same time, I'm kind of going, lads. I know it's all a bit weird, but like, can we slow down with injecting stuff into people that, you know, was literally only invented 2 weeks ago or something? You know, like, can we have some sort of...
Well, do you know what? There's a really good thread on Reddit about how the vaccination was made to do with RNA research and how, like... So it's not like... how to explain this? So it's not like they went to a fucking greenfield site and had to build a house. It's kind of like, well, look... We have everything more. We have the foundations and the brickwork done. We just need to put a roof on it, kind of thing, you know.
Right.
So a lot of it was there. They just had to find the correct combination to get it all working together.
Yeah, because I assume it's like they've been mucking with coronaviruses for a long while. It's not.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Like, you know, they had a lot of stuff known already. They just had to figure it out. But like, I don't know. I think we should all be really happy. And
100%, don't get me wrong, I'm taking the fucking vaccine. I'm not in any way like not going to do that. Like,
but like, it's the worst pandemic in 100 years or so, and like they had a vaccine within a year.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Like humans like, are fucking awesome.
No vaccine for the Spanish flu, wasn't it? It's just everyone died. That's what happened. Yeah. 50 million.
Well, no, not everyone died.
Or 50 million people died or something.
Did survive it, like, you know. But yeah, a lot of people.
Or did we?
This is a simulation. Someone fucking what's his name? The electricity guy, Nikola Tesla. He came up with a computer at the time, and we're all living in that simulation now until we can figure out how to get off of floppy disks or magnetic tape, and get back out into the real world. And all that'll be there is Nikola Tesla on the Zimmer frame going, I can finally die.
And David Bowie for this, just for, you know, he played Dave Bowie played him in the Prestige, didn't he?
He's following me everywhere.
I know,
fucker.
that's what you said in my head. He goes, I better mention it.
There's a thing on Tommy's Discord, if you don't know, called Whiny Wednesday, and you put up a moan, but you don't put it on a Wednesday. That's the idea. You just put it up any day you want. And my thing was that,
in fact, the unwritten rule is you don't do it on a Wednesday. You
don't do it on a Wednesday. Wednesdays are good, you know, they're fine. Nothing bad happens on a Wednesday, you know, except maybe Ash Wednesday. But anyway, no, was Ash Wednesday bad? He wasn't killed on Ash Wednesday. Why is Ash Wednesday celebrated?
Because it's the day or the weekend after Passover, isn't it? Where you get the ash in your head, and I don't know.
Isn't that when he went into the place on the donkey?
No, it's when he goes to the desert, isn't it? That's the beginning of Lent, isn't it? Ash Wednesday. The day after Pancake Tuesday.
Start of Lent, that's right. Yeah.
So he's in the desert, and he's the devil's going, oh, I've loads of stuff to give you. Oh, no thanks, devil, no thanks. What about these sexy women?
Look at my pretty underpants. Ooh, can I tempt you? Ooh. You're only gay if you take. Shut up, Spud.
Yeah.
What was
Hold on,
Bowie?
so get the big Spud buzz on here. Hold on, bring it over closer to me.
Yeah, Bowie, but fucking Bowie's everywhere. Because I listen to two radio stations, BBC Six and 8 Radio is like the Irish version of BBC Six. It's like alternative music, independent labels, all that kind of stuff. And it's this weird thing that I have a little bit of an issue with. Like David Bowie's birthday is on whatever day it was there a couple of days ago, and like BBC Six makes this huge deal about it, and like have to play like 4 or 5 songs every hour.
Yeah, but it's also the anniversary of his death too, though, isn't it? Like there's
it's not the same day though.
No, but what I mean, so you get people playing it on his birthday, and then you get people playing it because he died. The week later.
I don't know. But okay, Tommy, maybe I'm totally wrong here. But do dead people have birthdays? Are they allowed to have birthdays anymore?
Well, not only did it get birthdays.
No, the answer is no.
Well, they do, but what I'm saying is they also have death days. They have the two things. Like the vibe for Philo is not when he...
That's when he died.
Yeah,
Phil Lynott,
but there is a birthday celebration as well, like for Phil Lynott, in case people...
I don't know. I think once you leave this earthly plane, I think it should be null and void as your birthday.
Then when you look at something like, say, like Crowley, isn't it? His death is the day we kind of...
It's always the death. It's always the death day. It's always the death.
No, Crowley Mass is his birthday. It's not his death.
Come on, are you serious?
I think so. My brain just doesn't seem to want to work anymore.
Like every saint day, as far as I know anyway, every saint day is the day they died. Like St. Patrick died on 17th of March.
Well, Jesus' death day isn't a big day, though, is it?
Yeah, that changes every year, isn't that mad? Do you know that the Irish church, the Celtic church, had a big fight with Rome about that, and eventually they had to back down because the Brits wouldn't side with us.
Right.
You know,
it's the something after. It's really pagan, isn't it? Like something after the full moon. You know.
Oh, it's the moon. So many days after the third moon or something like that. Yeah. Third full moon or something like that. Because there was a full moon when he died, so they try and have it on a full moon. But it's like, why don't you just have it the same day? But the Easter Rising, they tried to do that as well in Ireland every year. Because our revolution was or one of the revolutions was the Easter Rising, and they try and so like some people celebrate it on the date, and then some celebrate it on like the Easter, and it's like, what the fuck? That's bizarre. Just do it on the date. You know?
That's strange. I never even thought about that.
It's very strange, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a very weird one. No, it's not a weird one at all. That's very weird. What, do it on the date that happened. It's a historic event.
Yeah, exactly. The date, yeah. But the church don't do it on the date. And the Celtic church, the old Irish Catholic church, they wanted it on the date. And Rome was like, no. We have to look at the moon and the menstrual blood. And we mix it together and we make it into a cake. Alistair Crowley didn't come up with that on his own, you know what I mean?
That was Pope Pius the 12th or whatever. Yeah, it was a secret Calamite.
Hey, did you see your ding dong schlong is mine? Did you see that on Reddit?
No.
The hacker Apparently there's these. Okay. What's a chastity belt? You think of this iron thing with a lock and a key.
Yeah.
So apparently there's digital ones now that you have on an app on your phone. So some hacks. So you know the way that like hackers can break into your your webcams and stuff because they don't have much security on them. So these things are the same. And some hacker got into loads of these like chastity belts that boys wear in obviously America because what the fuck, and
or Japan. I don't.
He sends them
weird sex stuff.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I don't think there's abstinence obsessed. Anyway,
watch any amount of anime and you can go, I've literally no idea what the culture is over there. What's the thing?
So he's been sending these messages. Your cock is mine, and unless you pay some ransom, your chastity belt is locked, basically.
Right.
Yeah, so
that's very strange.
That's very why. Like what? Like number one, people still wear chastity belts. Number two, there's digital ones. Number three, they're hackable.
How are they peeing? How are they pooing? How are they doing all the things that they're?
I have no idea. Well, I mean, there's probably a poo hole at the back.
But if there's a pee hole, then there's a masturbation hole.
Yeah, but there's not enough. It's too restrictive for a boner. Isn't that the thing?
I've no idea.
That's the point.
I don't know. I haven't really looked into chastity belts. I particularly digital.
Well, I've never worn one, but like I presume that that is what. No, I've seen them in the sex. Dig ups, but
the sex dungeon.
Sex.
Museum.
What was it? Yeah, sex museum in Prague. That's where I saw them.
Sure.
There's a sex museum and there's a torture museum as well, and you kind of get them mixed up which one was which when you come out of both of them. It's fucking bizarre. Like what the fuck is going on? Why would you wear one in the first place? Why would you agree to that? Imagine like we've all had overbearing parents at some kind of level, but imagine your parents are such horrible fuckers that they convince you to wear. Or they're like, like say like when I was growing up, like I was sent off to this really posh music school, even though I wanted to go to the normal one, but they sent me to this posh one for high and lofty ideals, and it's just like, okay, look, they want me to go, so I'll go. But like, imagine you're in that situation. It's like, yeah, we think you should wear a chastity belt. You're like, I don't really want to, but like, she's my mom and I love her, so I'll do it. Yeah. And then like a week later, you're like, ha 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 ha! Some dude in Russia is like, I got your cock, ha 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 ha! Send me 5 million bitcoins. Like, what the fuck is a bitcoin? What the fuck is going on here? Like,
and how much is he looking for? Like, what's?
I didn't.
Is it like 20 quid or something, or is it like $2,000?
Something. It's just something for the fun. Yeah, I want 2 cents.
Yeah.
Off. Yeah.
It's actually a way to get people to sign up to Bitcoin wallets. Just 2 cents. That's all I want. Damn it! Set up another account.
Click this link, and then they use your computer as a slave to mine coins. Am I using the right terminology there? I think I am.
So. Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
I want to talk a bit about the QAnon shaman, but in a roundabout way, not in a politics way, because it's so ubiquitous at this point that
he's going hungry, I hear.
Because he's not getting his what's the word,
organic food.
Organic food, yeah.
It's not even that he wants vegan food; he wants organic food. It's like what?
One of the things that struck me about, apart from the most, I don't know, it's when I was watching it kind of live though, the videos that you've seen afterwards are way more intense than what was kind of, by the time I'd seen it live feed, were just people.
I mean, it's obviously it was staged, like Tommy. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
It's literally staged because there's video footage of the cops letting them in. I mean, there's no question. But it's like, because by the time I got to it, was kind of people shuffling around. It was a bit after the event, but like when you see the videos of the amount of people that were there at the beginning, and especially that horrible one of the cop actually being pulled out and all that. Anyway, but my kind of from a kind of a personal kind of thing looking at it. Remember before I was talking about how in magic there's this kind of sense of momentum building, as if it's going somewhere, and you're getting all the syncs, you're getting the thing. It's like the Hellier thing of, Pan's calling us, let's get into a cave, and you all go to the thing. And it just, that there's always seems to be that point, that Hellier point, where you're in a cave shouting at Pan, and Pan nothing happens, and then you kind of go home the next day going, all right. And I kind of felt a bit like that, like this ridiculous coup was like, they're following the signs, they have the wizards with them, they have everything, they're building up, they get to let in, and they get in and they go, wasn't something meant to happen? Wasn't it like, what, it just felt as like very magical in the sense of like, not that it was like a spell or anything, but it just had the same format as what an awful lot of I see as the kind of, I suppose, the kind of cosmology of how magic seems to work in this day and age, that it seems to move towards something, and you know, there's no way around it. Like, I guarantee you they were all, you know, getting signs that this was the right thing to do. See the one where your man said, I asked God 3 times and he didn't say no, so I knew it was a good idea. You know, but they were following no thing. It's the same when you're following some sort of thing and you're getting loads of sinks, and there's loads of synchronicities for people don't know, sinks, not kitchen sinks. That'd be weird if you kept getting kitchen sinks. And you know, and you feel you're on the right track, you're moving towards this, the momentum of the universe is behind you, and it's almost like it's a big joke then or something at the end. Or, of course, which is the thing, is, as we said before, is that the ritual that you're being followed along, and particularly it's probably more evident in something like Hellier, is that it's not for you, the result isn't for you. And certainly the coup, if as a magical thing, the result wasn't for the people doing it at all. You know, if you wanted to look at it in that kind of a way.
It was for all of us to laugh at them.
Well, not even necessarily that, but like that, you could be in it, like if you were QAnon shaman or whatever, and you were expecting this, I'm going to be the wizard, the hero, whatever. I don't know what he was expecting, you know, and then it turns out he's the guy who has to stand there looking like a tit going, Trump said we should go home, I'm going to go home. Oh, are you? You know, it must have been just terrible for people the next day, just waking up going, you know, when you wake up from a hangover and you've said something weird to someone, or you've done something a bit strange, but this is, you wake up the next day and you've, you know, you're part of a coup where people died, and like, you're definitely going to prison for a long time, and you know, it's, I don't know, it's very odd, but very, I could still see the kind of, I suppose, magical correspondence in it. What, like, is that mad? Does that make any sense? Or am I just kind of putting things together that aren't together? Have you thoughts on this? Have you opinions?
No, I think they're just fucking gobshites. No, I don't know. No, I haven't thought about it in a magical way, to be honest. I haven't. I just think that there are people who are caught up in the moment of Trump's thing, and like, okay, what I have thought about it is that like was Trump trying to do a Bavarian beer hall Hitler thing there? Like, was he trying to do that? Because the thing with the Hitler beer hall is that the German authorities at the time knew it was happening, but they were kind of like, they didn't really stop it, because it's just like, you know what, if we stop it, they're just going to be fighting on the streets, so we'll just let them have their pints and talk to each other, and nothing's going to happen. Be grand, you know. So like, I presume the authorities, the CIA, the FBI, NSA, yada yada, all these fuckers knew that shit was going to go on. Yeah. But I presume, like, the only kind of way that logically, they must have known something was going to happen, and they must have just said, you know what, this is going to be a whole lot of nothing. Let's just give them enough rope to hang themselves, and this will be the end of it. That's kind of the way I see it happening, as it happened, you know? And like, because if, I think that if there had been more of a threat from it, even though, okay, people died and that's shite, but like, you know, if it was a proper coup, it would have been a hell of a lot more people that died.
Sure, yeah.
And like, yeah, I think that if they thought it was going to be more threatening, there would have been a lot more cops, soldiers, National Guards, whatever in there stopping it. Because like, you saw like the Black Lives Matter things when like you put a big fucking barrier around the White House, and he wasn't under any threat really. Maybe a bit, but like, none, those protesters weren't armed. These, you know, these. And it's such a weird thing as well. Like, if you watch coups around the world, it's mostly young people with ideals and guns, and like, this is all like overweight, you know, Karens, and their fucking redneck husbands, Kevin. And doing selfies and all. Look, I'm here with a policeman. Blue Lives Matter. Can I have a photo? Yeah, click. Nice one, man. See you on Instagram. Boy, fucking death to Pelosi. What the fuck is going on here? It's very It
was an interesting one. I don't know who said it, but it's like very obviously the QAnon LARPing element. You know, where people were thinking that it was like they were interacting with it like it was a game, where so many people seem to have an understanding of that. They could go to the capital with an O, not an A, and stage a coup and then fly home next day and go back to their lives. You know, like it's like log out of the game. I know we played the game. Yes, no. Now I'm just going back to my life.
Yeah, if you're gonna have a coup, you should have a name. It's like, okay, well, I want to be Minister of Finance.
Yeah.
Can I be Minister of the Islands, please? I want to go see the islands. Can I have the islands? No, don't be an idiot. You can be Minister of Schools.
but obviously, like some of them had like serious intent going in with the handcuff things and all that. Like they were going to handcuff people and cable ties.
Well, unless he was just a kinky bastard, it might have been that.
It's so strange. Part of me wonders, like,
the next time you're buying cable ties at the garden centre, wink at the cashier.
But are those particular the double-ended cable ties that are like can only be a handcuff? It's like I wonder like how close was that to being something much worse? Like because they said basically what happened was the momentum was building until the woman got shot, and then everyone went, "Oh fuck," there's some that seemed to have. Right.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I don't think there was any momentum because I think the authorities would have known about it, and if there was momentum, there would have been a far bigger pushback. Anytime there is a coup, there's usually, in modern times, there's usually good, solid, armed resistance. And then what happens is then America sees this on the news and decides who they want in power, and then they swoop in. This didn't happen this time. Well, I don't know, but you don't know. I mean, Trump's speech was so weird as well. He's like, "I love you all."
Yeah,
march. We're going to march on this thing, and he didn't move. He didn't go, and he just what's he after working out with people? Maybe he was just like, right, here's 5,000 people for you to arrest and put in jail, and you'll give me immunity. We don't know. No.
It's definitely deep fake, that last video, according to our conspiracy. In fairness, to make a case that it's definitely a green screen anyway, there's no question of that. But because he's in Texas, right? He's definitely not in Washington or wherever he is.
Why does Texas not have grass? No, green grass.
Well, it's because he's in front.
Even though they have the highest number of cattle per head of population in the world.
He's not standing.
What
he's
do the
standing
cattle
at a
eat?
Podium or something.
Don't Texas cattle eat dirt? They don't eat grass. Isn't that it?
No, literally no idea. I think they eat the lives of left wingers, the souls. So anyway, what about censorship and companies being allowed to have certain people on their thing and all that? What's your feelings around all that? I'll tell you what my feelings are about it.
Go on, tell me yours.
I'm not sure. Like, I understand you need to have a reaction to things and all that, but and I understand private companies can do whatever they want and all of that kind of stuff, but I don't know, there's something quite scary about it too. There's something a bit book-burny about it, and in the sense of
but Tommy, social media isn't a right.
No, but neither is a book. Neither's
education is a right.
Yeah, but and then who's
social media isn't education.
No, but who? No, of course. I know, and I understand that. I'm not. It's just there's something that doesn't sit right with me 100%. Like I definitely don't have the vitriol or the kind of schadenfreude towards us that look, everything that seems to be kind of because it still seems to be part of that kind of woke cancel culture thing, which I kind of once you read John Ronson's book, you kind of can't look at that the same.
Look, I mean, you can look at two different sides of the coin on that argument. Which say John Ronson and Douglas Murray. Douglas Murray be a far more conservative type of person. John Ronson's a very liberal. Yeah. But they both make a very similar argument from different viewpoints.
Yeah.
And look, I agree with you. Woke culture is fucking horrible. It's the worst part of the leftiness. But if you go into your local bookshop and you're like, yeah, can you get rid of all the Jewish books because, they have weird hair? And they'd be like, no, get the fuck out. But you can say that on social media. So, how to put this? Your right to free speech doesn't mean that you're just allowed spray paint shitty opinions on random blank fucking walls. Do you know?
Well, no, with that, because that's vandalism. But you're allowed to say whatever you want. It's that you're also, people are allowed to counter that. Like you, that's.
But Tommy, you are allowed to say what you want in the confines of your house to your loved ones, family, siblings.
Oh yeah, and
whatever.
I understand that people said, "Oh, the president is being, silenced," or whatever. He goes, "Well, no, because he has a press corps and he has televisions and everything that every previous president had up to him." I think what's more my issue is that. The kind of, particularly when you're looking at something like, say, how YouTube has developed over the last couple of years, where it's like it's so sanitized and there's so many rules and there's so many things that the thing that why YouTube became so awesome in the first place is now it's literally the opposite of what it used to be. It's and I think. That if you want to look at a flat earth conspiracy or a hollow earth thing, you can't anymore on YouTube. You just can't. You can't look at any kind of things that isn't opposite to what is considered mainstream. And I understand that because we've talked so much about the David Icke stuff and the 5G and how that was, really dangerous and all of that. And there's just some part of me just kind of go, oh, I think this could go really wrong, or there's something really that I feel... Because we're definitely going to overstep it. We're going to, and I don't think once you do that, you're not rolling that back, and I'm kind of going, so what happens then if, like you look at even like, say, Jonathan Pajot on his Facebook yesterday, and he has a video coming up, kind of nearly panicked going, well, I'm about to get fucked, I assume, from YouTube and from Facebook and stuff like that. He's not a particular right winger, he's very conservative, but you wouldn't necessarily put him...
That's just him pooling his fucking people together so he can start charging them more on fucking Patreon. That's all.
Well, no, it's not. Well, possibly, but if the big move was to get everyone onto Discord or whatever, I'm like, so that's a good sign that Discord's going to turn weird very quickly once it becomes the hub. So we'll all have to look for someone new. But just this kind of, I don't know. And we know, Spud, that from private conversations that there's a load of things that we can't even talk about on the podcast. There's this kind of thing that there's a feeling that I'm getting that I don't like, of that I'm not allowed to talk or think about certain things, that you can't even talk about stuff anymore. And I understand the need for censorship in some way, or why Facebook is allowed to do whatever it wants and Twitter's allowed to do whatever it wants, and how something like Parler can be completely demolished in a matter of hours.
Yeah. I don't agree with that.
Yeah. And being that a private company, well, Facebook and Twitter have a monopoly in a sense of, particularly in a pandemic, on how we interact with each other. It's not just like, it seems to be somewhat a bigger picture or a bigger problem than just a private company. You sign up for the terms of service because it's, and we can do what we want, because it's embedded more in our culture than a private company has ever been, ever. And how we communicate and how our lives are structured, and if we can all maybe point and go, well, we should get rid of Trump off the thing. But it's also, Trump wasn't allowed to block people because they had I think it's First Amendment right to hear what the president was saying.
Really?
So he legally wasn't allowed it. So like, how then does it not work the other way? I hope, hopefully it's great, and this was all the right move, and then we come back tomorrow and go, oh yeah, well now here, have your flat out conspiracy videos if you want, or talk about whatever you want. But I see it going the other way. I see it's going to be less and less.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think Parler shouldn't be gone. I think they should be still allowed be an entity kind of thing. But not that I use it. I didn't even know what it was until the other day. Obviously, it's a conservative social media platform, and so give conservatives some of the, and like, say stuff with like your flat Earth, your hollow Earth, and all those things. Like, you can still go to GitHub. What's it called? BitChute.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go there and watch it. Or you can go to Vimeo. There's other places, like, you don't.
Oh no, I understand. But even things like, I'm going to get this wrong, the creator of a social media site called Gab, I think, he's not allowed to use MasterCard anymore because he's been taken off the. If my reading of this is correct, so that's a dangerous precedent, that your money and the way of surviving outside your business can be in some way.
Man, I'm not allowed to have a Betfair account. but I have one.
Oh no, no, and I mean, and like
You know,
there's always in the same way that you're not let down low tennis, but like we all know how to do it. You know, I get that, but it's kind of, I don't know.
I think, to be honest, I think you're worrying a little bit too much.
Okay.
Because, like,
first they came for the cows, and I said nothing.
I know. Because, like, okay, you can use, if you want, you can use YouTube to look for your conspiracy stuff. But if they're not there, you can get them somewhere else. But like, I'm happy to use YouTube. I'm happy to use YouTube from fucking woodworking tutorials or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And it's that there's a risky thing of blaming the technology for what's going on rather than blaming what's going on for what's going on. You know,
okay.
like we're in this shitty situation now with censorship because of how we've been using it. You know, this is our fucking fault. We need to own it, and then we need to tell the companies how we want them to work. And then the companies can decide, okay, this is what the people want and this is what we give them. Or they can say, no, piss off. And then everyone will leave and go join MySpace or Bebo or whatever the fuck else is available. You know, that's what will happen. You know, more and more people are leaving Facebook every day because they're not happy with it.
Yeah.
You know, and like, because it's such a capitalist thing, way of operating, that like, if people aren't happy, they will just go to something else. Oh, okay, the Apple Store closed down Parler or whatever. There's probably another version up by now anyway. You know, and I think that like at the moment we have this thing that Facebook and Twitter should be these bastions of free speech. Well, yeah, okay, no. Like, why isn't it better? Like, I think it's better that like we can have say like a big newspaper like the Irish Times, but then you can also have like subsidiary ones of that, like the Wexford People or the Cork Echo or the Kilkenny People, blah blah blah, whatever, who are part of that but have voiced different things. Do you know? So like, okay, you can't say that on Facebook, but you know, here's 20 other websites you can say it on. Like, I mean, look at the hissy fit Jordan Peterson had about with fucking Patreon. For some weird reason, I don't even remember what it was. Like, and then he
because
just goes
it started deleting a load of people. That's what it was.
Yeah, gender something. I don't know. Polygenderism, whatever the fuck that is. Let's just
intersectionality. That's a nice word.
Like, I get you because like I was mad into the like. Obviously, coming from a journalism background, and fucking, I believe in the sanctity of freedom of speech. But you know. Can't just say what you want and get away with it. Like, you have to, not you have to, but it's good to be aware that you can be wrong about some things. And the way things have gone in the world is that too many, how to say this politely? No, I won't say politely. Too many fucking uneducated people don't realise that they might be wrong on things. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what it boils down to. I'm not some highly educated. So I'm like, okay, I went to college. I'm lucky I went to college, but that's as far as I went. I could have gone higher, but I didn't. And like, it's not that it doesn't matter how educated you are or not. It's just that there's nothing in schools where kids are being taught. You know, maybe you should question the way we think. You know, and instead it's just like, oh well, that's on the news and Trump says this, so it's true, so let's get our guns and go to Washington. No, how about we don't do that and we just try and get on with each other and try and fix this fucking shithole that we've created ourselves, because it is our fault. The world is the way it is because of us. It's not someone's fault.
My fucking
it's our fault.
It's mine.
No, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, it's like, I don't know. You're way more positive about it than I am. That's I suppose the easiest way to say it. Didn't Poland?
It's not. But you know what? It's not that I'm being. I don't think I'm being positive about it. It's just I'm trying to look at it from the center and out, you know, or trying to look from above down into it, because I think that people. I go into Twitter now every morning and I last about 5 seconds and just go, what the fuck is wrong with these people? You know what I mean? And it's the same 10, 15 people just moaning. And it's like, you're fucking alive. You're literally alive. What the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean? My toast fell on the floor.
I know, but that like people do have legitimate things to be annoyed about and and I think just kind of making it go because we're complaining about toast. I don't think people on Twitter are really complaining about their toast being on the floor. Some people are, but not. I don't think the vast majority of the complaints that people have, and I think it's kind of disingenuous to kind of brush it away by going, "Oh, they're complaining about the toast falling on the ground." I think so. I think people have legitimate reasons to be fucking annoyed and pissed off and angry. And
they do.
And sad.
They do, Tommy. They do, Tommy. Of course they do. Of course they do. And you know what? Writing it into 140 characters on Twitter is really going to fucking solve it.
I thought that went up to 280, but it doesn't seem to. It's
whatever it is, but like.
No, it hasn't. Or it's changed. Anyway.
There's no point in airing your grievances in the public. There is literally no point. Get up off your arse and do something.
But that's I see. Marco put up a post yesterday about spiritual bypassing, which was literally just saying that what you're saying, and how that he just thinks it's not good, and I agree with him. I think. Yeah,
I saw that. I don't agree with that at all. I think you're both wrong there.
Yeah, I understand, but you have that pull yourself up from the bitch raps mentality, like that.
Because I have to.
Yeah, but also, it's physically impossible to do that. Like, that's the fun thing about that expression.
No, but Tommy, it's because I've been so fucking low and idealised suicide so many times. Do you know what I mean? I still remember the morning I told you, I that's it, I'm done.
Yeah,
do you know? Yeah. I have enough. I've been there. I know what it's like to be at the bottom of the bottom. You know. And all you can do is realise, right, that's where I am. I'm not going there again. And I don't know, maybe everyone has to have the dark night of the fucking soul to realise just how fucking close they come to the edge. And then they have the will within themselves to look. Did you hear the bullshit coming out of me? I sound like a fucking new age fucking no, but really, like, just like. But some people don't have to go that far. Some people they just have it inherently in themselves to say, yeah, okay, I'm going to work hard to get that. Or I'm going to worm my way into a situation where everything works out. And there's too much of the past in the book, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, free speech. Yeah, look, man, look at you. Your life has fallen apart. You haven't seen your kids in 3 years because you beat your wife to a pulp. Fucking the last time
you're doing the toast argument again.
No, I am.
I am. And that's a terrible argument.
Of course I am. I always do it because I have to go to because I'm going to the extreme length to show how far things.
Yeah, but if you have to go to an extreme length to make your argument, then you don't have a good argument. If you're only
no.
It is, man. If you have can only if your theory only works in extreme examples, then it's not a great example. Well, it's not
that's how extreme it can go. Okay.
Okay.
Do you know, like putting stuff on Facebook, like, complaining about burning your sausages or whatever the fuck it is, like, why are you telling the world that?
I don't see these posts at all. I just don't. Like, so I mean, people always talk about it. I don't see.
I do though.
Yeah.
Oh, I do. But like, I don't see any conspiracy videos on my YouTube. My YouTube is all.
Well, no one does anymore.
Post rock or woodwork.
Yeah, mine's mostly music too. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. Like, I'm not worried about the world. I can't be worried about the world. I can only worry about myself and my family. Yeah. And once I sort that out, then I'll fix the rest of you. But like, what are you worried about? Like, are you like you don't say anything controversial. You think that you're going to get your YouTube's going to get closed down because you have a 40 servants Oracle deck or
no, not
deck,
me. But
deck.
I'm not just thinking about myself though. That's the difference. I think I'm thinking about kind of culture in general and the society that my son's going to grow up in and what he is to face and all that. I don't give a shit about me. Fuck's sake.
YouTube won't be around when he's in his 20s. You think?
Yeah, but the precedent will be. And the rules and the things that we instigate now and how we decide to conduct ourselves and the laws we make and all that will affect him.
But sure, I mean, there's no legal right to free speech in any European country anyway.
Yeah, that's
an American thing.
Yeah, that like do eyes of an Irish person. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Come here to ask you, the thing that I read, is this true? Poland is going to fine Facebook every time it infringes on someone's free speech. Is that a true thing? Because I've seen that in a number of places. That it's like 20,000. Yeah.
I don't know. I get my Polish news from Irish people. I have no idea.
Well, Poland have decided. I've read that in a few places. Yeah, that'd be an interesting one. Number one, how do you police that? Like, for a start.
Well, look,
But,
the Polish government are really good at holding people to ransom. They did it with the European Union a while ago, because the European Union are like, right, look, because Poland was fucking with they were allowing like little town councils to have put up these signs, LGBT free zones, which either means that it's a free zone for LGBT people, or it means that they don't want those people. And no one's really, obviously it's the second one.
Yeah.
I'm messing. But like, and then the European Union have been like, well, look, we're not going to give you any funding for those towns. And then the Polish government has fought back saying, well, yeah, you will. And the EU has said, no, I won't. And then when the EU budget came up, Poland went, who holds the cards now, bitches?
they got
and
it.
so they put a veto on it along with Hungary.
Right.
And then for about a week or something, a whole lot of discussions went on behind closed doors. And then Poland got more. Look, Poland can be bought out for anything and everything. Right. It is the history of Poland is they will sell their souls to the highest bidder. The governments, I mean, not the people. They will sell their souls to the highest bidder. Always has been the case, always will be. But most governments are like that, I suppose. So if they are threatening Facebook with something, that'll disappear once Facebook puts some cash on the table.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, 20 grand every time you infringe on someone's thing. Yeah. So Spud.
No, but I want to know why you're so worried.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, for all the reasons I've told you. I'm worried about what the world that my son is going to enter, that we're going to head towards, and what kind of how culture's going to evolve. All those things I just said there a couple of minutes ago.
Maybe I'm just being too oblivious and just not notice or not. I don't know what the right approach is.
I think I am side a bit on the panic side, or not the panic's not the right word, on the probably overanalyze. I think your head's a bit too far the other way. You're a bit too much in it'll be grand. Sure, it'll be grand. And I don't think either way is good, because obviously you should be, but I would say middle way. But I think it's probably, I'll give you an example. When the pandemic kind of started, and we were on the podcast or something, and you were saying, it's not going to happen, and you were giving out to your dad thinking it was going to happen, and then a week later it happened. It's that kind of it's that kind of thing. And no,
you're right.
Yeah.
I mean,
but here's the thing. I definitely say you're happier. On a personal level, it works more. I just think, and it's a stupid argument, but it's also a true argument, that if everyone thought the same way as that, but it is true, but not everyone is going to think that way. And like, I know the answer. I mean, worrying about it causes nothing other than worry. I have literally no say in any of it. And the thing, like, why I kind of have a reaction to things like, just be more positive and, go do something about it. I can't do anything about it. I literally can't do anything about it. Most of the things that I have concerns about, I have no say in and no control over. And then to be told, I'll just be happy about it and, work hard. It's like, fuck off. Like,
I used to be happy with what you have.
I am happy with what I have.
Well, but it's also that's the starting point.
It is a starting point, but it's like that. I think that is kind of an awful lot of the reason why we're in the problem as a society now, is because people are just worried about themselves and their own happiness. And, I don't care about other people. I'm happy. And it's like, that's why the world is shit for most people.
No, come on. I care about everyone. I want everyone to have a great life. But
I'm not saying you in particular, man.
I know that. No, I know that. Like, I want the best for everyone. Like, and I desperately want to like people, even though I have this weird claustrophobia thing when I'm in a crowded space and I get all panicky and sweaty and asthma and so many people, I'm freaking out. But you like people. I know, what is wrong with me? And that's just the conversation in my head, and it's like, what the fuck I want to like these people, but they're fucking freaking me out. And
I think the long and short of it, it's a very weird time, and it's hard to know what way to think and what is the correct way, and that either way, like, you can be made feel guilty for being happy, you can be made feel guilty for being miserable or having concerns or not being, and it's just, no matter what kind of stance we are to take in it, it's objectable. Someone will object to it, or there is an objection to it, and I I obviously don't have a solution. I don't know what it is.
No, I don't think there is. But I mean, the solution is supposed to be, you're supposed to look at it from a detached point of view. Take yourself out of the situation and look at it from a bird's eye view, or look from inside to it. Be the yin and yang of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I don't have any fucking answers. I'm an idiot. You know what I mean?
It's a fun one to solve it. Like,
actually thinking here.
Hold on.
How do I fix the
really
world?
Think about it, Spud. What are we going?
I can fix the world here if I just use the power of my mind. Like, your man Steiner used to do that. Steiner in his writings, he's like he processes like how his brain will work so that he'll be able to understand something. It's like, well, if your brain is working, then you'll be able to understand it. And he's like, no. Like, I'm talking to the book, like trying to understand it, kind of thing. Because the writing is so archaic and crazy. And he just, like, he goes into, like, pages and pages and pages of how you can use your brain in a certain way to fix problems that you haven't been able to fix before. It's like, oh my God, this guy's fucking crazy. But then, he was crazy.
In a good way.
I don't know, Tommy. I try and look at, like, for example, the night of the failed putsch coup thing in America, what did it go? Someone texted me about it or whatever. Look, turn on the telly and see what's happening. And I turned it on, and I lasted about 3 minutes, and I went, no, this is nothing. Because I'm literally nothing. And then before I went to bed, I went onto Reddit, and I just saw the meltdown. And then I went, actually, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
And then I opened up Twitter, and I saw another meltdown. I said, this is brilliant. This is great fun. And then closed and went to bed because it was like, yeah, but nothing's actually going to come of this. Like, it was obvious. And I think I've learned to look at things more without putting me in it. You get me?
Yeah.
Like, man, you know me. Like, years ago, this whole free speech thing, I'd have been fucking front and centre of that.
Yeah.
Defending your right to say whatever you want about whoever you want. And now I'm like, yeah, you can't say that stuff. Say it at home. Say it to your friends. Say it to the people who like you and know you. Don't be going on social media and just being like, oh, fucking doctors, vaccines, toast. Like, I don't know. It's just, you see so many people on social media and just like, you have to be very lonely if you're posting 20 million things a day about your mother. Or whatever. Like, just, I think people are petrified to look within themselves and will continue to look at external forces, elements, whatever. Yeah. And then at the same time, then they'll try and buy their way into happiness. Do
Yeah, I think though that it's again the balance between, because blaming, as Alan Chapman constantly bangs on about, will someone please take responsibility for this? Like, obviously I understand that, but at the same time there is external factors that are to blame for certain things. It's like that kind of the only reason people are poor or starving is because they're not positive enough or they haven't worked hard enough. That's not true. Nonsense. No, I'm not saying that. True. That is nonsense. But it's kind of, there is an element of that kind of pervading kind of concept. You go, well, no, there is external factors, there is societal factors, cultural factors, blah 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 blah, and that have to be taken in. But again, it's the thing, if you've decided that everything is the cause of an outside agency, you've gone too far. But if you've decided that you are the only person, that is responsible for every single thing that's happening in your life, I think you've gone too far too. Which is comes up the thing Mark was on about the spiritual bypassing, and the reason why I suppose we have that kind of reaction is because it's so prevalent, as we've talked before, in spiritual circles and all that and it's just kind of probably that thing of over to try and balance it,
it's overcompensation.
Overcompensation in a sense.
With the opposite.
Like, I mean, of course, be happy, try your best, all of that kind of stuff. But it's the kind of victim blaming element that is so. Yeah, well, you know what? This is the thing I find hard with I know you've had great success with it. This what do you call it? The secret, all that kind of stuff. What's it called? Law of attraction.
Law of attraction. The word law of attraction just doesn't work for me because I can't. I think I've become fairly positive with my outlook, but stuff like that I can't be positive enough about.
Right.
Like I can't will a new camera. I can't do that.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but like
You know what I mean?
you can the reality transurfing aspect of it, you can get behind and you can do, and or at least you did at one point.
Radish transfer is a bit different, right? But I still don't have the new camera.
But like, do you actually want a new camera?
Yeah, I don't need it. I'd like
See,
it.
you don't even want it.
Yeah, no, exactly. I don't even really want it. Like that's the fucking truth, isn't it? No, you're right. But like, it takes a long time when you get into this occulty stuff to find like where you're kind of like okay, like you see me flirting with all this druidry stuff at the minute, and there's just so much of it is just this airy fairy larpy, nonsense. And like they were the holders of secret knowledge, and it's been literally there's like 5 books. There's 5 fucking books from monks written later from the Druids. The Druids didn't write them. Monks who like were kind of their mates wrote down stuff, who maybe have been their mates and maybe not, and probably put a Catholic Christian or definitely put a Christian spin on stuff as well. And so there's like. I think.
Sorry, go on.
Do you know what, man? I think it boils down to just try and do your best for yourself and try and leave the world in a better place than when you got here. You know. I think that second thing people don't go for at all. Like.
No.
You know, they don't.
And I think that in the kind of circle, I suppose, we're at. The New Age and the magic thing, I think it's far too much emphasis on the first half of that and little to none on the second half of it.
Yeah, because if you're leaving the place in a better thing, then you're kind of shining you're spreading your love. You know what I mean? Like just.
But I suppose that is kind of the thing that was like part of the whole thing of going to other countries and trying to convert and all that is kind of spread the, that's seen as the good work in the sense of that's the. That's your mission. That it's literally your mission that is the thing. So I can understand that it's just kind of that didn't work out well for a lot of people. So it's what I think
all of the South Americans.
Yeah, or a lot of Africa. But I think the thing we're doing on as part of the Epoch thing on Discord, we're going through the different elements. I think that's very interesting, and I think it's because it's essentially you're just spending 3 days with. Well, we're going to go through the whole of Epoch, but at the minute it's just the elements. And I've kind of, when you start thinking in regards to what is, earth, once you get past the what are the elements, just kind of go, well, here's what the earth represents. So let's think about my life through that kind of lens, whatever. And you can kind of see where it is. And then when I got to the water element, which is where we're at the minute, I just realised that that's where I reside for good and for bad, mostly for bad. It kind of, while we were talking about the thing, the stuff there, I realised that is a great encapsulation or description of our 2 different points of view, where you're definitely coming from a more earth point of view, and I'm definitely coming from a more emotional, water, intuition, feelings thing, where you're coming from the kind of earth, which is, because you've said it over, myself, my family, the people around me, that's kind of your mantra out of the entire thing. Don't say it on Twitter, say it to the people around you. It's very centered around all that kind of thing. So I think that's very interesting. You can kind of look into those kind of ways of thinking and kind of maybe understand people, where they're coming from, or what their kind of focus is and stuff. Definitely on the I'm not really, because it was kind of the conversations that I've been bringing up. But what is the the epitome of earth? What does the the highest things look like? What's the lowest thing? And Abraxas was kind of suggesting that the highest thing of earth is just to have your needs met. And I was kind of going, well, is it? Because that seems very, I don't know. That doesn't seem like a kind of a level of height of something, they're just getting your basic needs met. But it's like if you go too far, you're obviously very much into greed and having too much and all of that, celebrity fame, all of that would be the extension of it. So I kind of in the end kind of did go that having your basic needs met is probably the pinnacle of the earth kind of energy and stuff, which I think that's kind of where you're sitting at. It's just you don't have to have the world, you don't have to have everything, you just it's about the kind of unity of what's actually around you.
But I'm very lucky to have that.
Yeah.
Like life isn't a struggle anymore. Like
yeah.
come remind me into my 20s, and then you'd find an angry bastard who thought the world was against them. Now I'm like, no, fuck it, I'll work with the world now. You know,
but it is because it is interesting, because I very much was in the art for a while, again in my 20s and early 30s, whatever. But I think most people are, because they're kind of trying to pave the way and get, you know, established financially, and, you know, and then once you kind of get it out, you kind of have a bit more understanding of art. But it was funny because I remember at the time being on Oracult and talking about it, and someone suggested that I think about it as in an elemental way, so that you can kind of see where you're at. So you know those kind of things where it's like the political compass, where it's like right wing thing, and where you are. I think it could be very interesting to do it, a magical one of where you have, you know, the elements and where you're kind of situated right now. And on the thing of that, when you were doing water, you're going, I just don't get this. You know what I mean? Like that. And I was kind of going like, because it's weird, because it's going like, of course you don't get this, because you're not, you know, it's not. And I don't mean this remotely as a kind of a failing or an insult or anything. It's just that's not where you're at. You know, so
yeah,
it shouldn't make sense to you. You know,
I barely shower once a week at the
moment. You know, but it's like, so the kind of, I suppose, the detrimental side of art is obviously destitution and homelessness, and, you know, infertility, and, you know, being in prison and not eating your organic food or whatever, is that kind of thing. So the kind of thing of water is over emotionality, depression, sadness, you know, worry. And I go, oh, look, that's interesting. It's not describe something. You know, victimhood. So, you know, this kind of thing. And then that realising that the art element, so say money, doesn't fall into the art sphere for me. It's only as an influence on water, because I can't see past water, because that's where I am. And I find that fascinating, because it's like going, but that gives me something to work with. You know, there's a structure, there's a kind of thing that can unfold out of it, and I can kind of.
So what are you supposed to do then? Like are you supposed to improve your other elements? And so, like, to make water into something, do you add a fire element? I don't understand these elements.
Well, see, I suppose the opposite of water, if you're going to go with the thing, is air. You know, so if you're going from the 47s, to going from the seer to the thinker. You know, from intuition to intellect, you know, that's the actually rationality, from a religion to science. You know, that's the shift. That's the type of the thing. Well, so you could have that where but you would be doing the overcompensating thing that we were talking about with regard to Now you could do that, an obviously thing, but you could also try and heal the water element and stuff like that, and understand it, and try to, you know, raise it from where it is to it becomes within balance in itself. You know, so
you're trying, like in a Magia thing, you do binding on your water elements.
That's definitely what I'm considering. Like, well, not considering, that's what I'm going to do, in the sense of looking at the role I'm playing in that, and realising that one of the roles I play is the epitome of the water element in its negative sense. Right. So you can have a look at that, whatever. It's just it's like, I don't think these are real, in the sense of, I don't think I'm literally an embodiment of the water element. I think the thing that the water element is describing is a very helpful tool to understand where I am, literally, emotionally, because it's about emotions and stuff. But then, you know, you have fire, then being obviously, you know, your passions and anger, and it's that Martian, Aries energy. But loads, you know, it's also pulling yourself up from the bootstraps, getting on it, doing your fucking, you know, it's ambition, it's all of that type of stuff as well. So I mean, it's the idea is that you're, you know, you have it all balanced, and, you know, you have a perfect kind of thing. Of course, I've been finding it fairly hard, because I don't like, look, I can meditate on any of the 40 servants, because I get it. It's an idea, it's an archetype. You know what I mean? Same with the major arcana or any path working on the tree of life. And I get that, because it's a concept I can see, and even, well, not touch, but it's identifiable. You get me? Like you turn up the seer, you're like, oh yeah, I get that. You turn up the moon, okay, I might have to look that one up. But like, or with the lovers or whatever, you think, okay, I get that. But then, like, okay, meditate on mud. Well, it wouldn't be mud. Of course, it wouldn't be mud, because
I know, but you know what I mean?
It would be a combination of water and earth. But I know,
and as well, like, I'm trying to be a bit stricter with the meditation that I have been doing, because it's like, when I started out doing it, I was just like, it was literally just kind of sitting in silence and let whatever happen in my head. You know what I mean? Whereas now I'm trying to do either the noting of the, like, no proper noting, like, what's it called? Vipassana, yeah?
Vipassana, yeah.
Or like the Magia version of it, which is
the fire
similar
practice.
enough, fire practice. Or else do the Metta, which is
love and kindness.
Love and kindness, but it's also the beloved.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Alan Chapman mightn't agree with that essentially, but I mean,
He mightn't agree, but he doesn't listen. Duncan does. Hello, Duncan. Yeah. Why am I waving? Idiot. He's not watching. Or is he?
Or is he? Hello, FBI agent. Hello.
Hello, yeah. Chairman Kaczynski of the Polish National Party, or whatever they're called, Piss Party. But because I'm doing this noting thing, I'm saying, right, I'll breathe, and then when I wander, I steer it towards earth.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
You get what I mean?
Yeah,
I think I'm trying to do something that's just a bit too hard or too difficult, or I don't know.
I would find that very hard. I mean, it's hard.
I'm
hard
really
enough,
struggling with meditation.
It's hard enough to catch something enough to name it, never mind to then direct it. But I understand why I understand why you're doing it.
See, I don't really know how to do this type of meditate. Like just right. Here's an idea. Meditate on it. I'm like, okay. It's. I'm just finding it too abstract at the minute. You know what I mean? And I know, but I think I will have trouble with the Jupiter and the gods and all that, because it's just like, for me, I'll just have to change the names. I'll say, right, that's Dagda, that's Danu, that's Ogma, instead of just the Greek thing, because, okay, I know who they are, but they don't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
The same with Earth, Wind, Fire, Water. Like, that's just characters from Captain Planet.
Hot.
You know what I mean? Okay, Earth, yeah, whatever. What? I have to think about this for 20 minutes. All right. Let's
but I suppose it's like arbitrary, I suppose. I mean, Jupiter's arbitrary. Like, it's the good god. Like, that's just essentially it. Like, Saturn's, the bad god, the demiurge.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, thanks to thankfully Abraxas put up something yesterday that I just hadn't been put, because I'm still very new to this, and I'm not nearly as smart as I think I am. Just because I wear glasses, people think I'm smart. I'm not smart. I'm fucking blind. Do you know? And it's like, so like Abraxas spelt out, like, okay, look, it's not Earth, it's what Earth represents, and it's the different characteristics of. And then I went, so I can meditate on that. Okay, yeah, I can do that. It's far easier.
Or if you need a pictorial representation, like Earth is of course the mother from the four servants. You have the seer, which is the
and your art is far better than the fucking Epoch cards. Jesus,
I'm not a fan, I have to say, of the art.
I like the idea of this. What did they call it? Chaos Bala, Kobala, Keabala,
Chiobala, I think.
Chiobala. I like the idea of it. I think it's a cool idea.
And it's because it's 3D rendered stuff, and it's not that I dislike that style, because the great Robbie Chariot's Wheel does a lot of that kind of style of 3D render stuff, and it's great, so it's more than just the approach or whatever, the artistic style.
It looks like 1992 Photoshop, so it looks like.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It looks old school. Yeah.
There's also a number of people in it that are actual people who I know, which is very weird, and I definitely
really.
I won't say who it is just because but it's when it gets to those, I'm going to go, how am I not going to think of said person?
Yeah, that's funny. I mean, I know, like, from reading the Necronomicon aspects of it and Lovecraft, that's going to be difficult for me to get my head into, because I've read some Lovecraft and it just does nothing for me.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like, just, Cthulhu. It's like isn't it like a Metallica song or something? Call it Cthulhu. Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, whatever.
I do like him, but I find it very hard to read. I only really clicked on me with an audiobook, so I don't know if you care to pursue it that way, but I'm really enjoying the thing so far, in that, the elements and looking at it and kind of having because I'm not really doing a kind of 20-minute. I tried it with the art where I do a 20-minute meditation. I go, well, that's not working. So what I just try to do is see my entire life during the day through the lens of the different thing. And we've only done 2. I mean, like, I could get to air and go, oh no, it's all about air. I'm an air man myself. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I need to kind of stop over analysing it myself, because I need to like just accept the Necronomicon part of it and say, right, that's what your man Carl has gone with, so just go with it. Because I'm like, because I have this thing in my head was like, oh, I wouldn't do it that way. I'd have done why didn't you just go with Tolkien? That'd be far cooler. You know, hang out with elves.
Yeah,
Galadriel, sexy elves. You know, instead of this weird octopus monster. The fuck is that?
But it's funny that like the Lovecraft is very prevalent in chaos magic. It seems to be one of the main things that people seem to grasp on. You know, more than say superheroes, because like as you would think, Superman, you know, being Apollo is a perfect example of it and all that. But it's not really something that a few people have. But in general, you definitely will find more people Cthulhuizing than they will Apolloizing. But I'm okay with, like, once I understand what it's representing. But again, Dagda and Jupiter, I don't really know Dagda either. You know, I don't have the affinity with it, and I tried, because I did spend a long while trying to kind of do what you're doing, and I just went, it's not, you know, it didn't click with me in the way it's clicking with you. But like, so I just kind of go with I know what it represents, so it doesn't really matter what the name is.
Yeah, maybe that's probably what better than. No,
because you seemed happy with the Dagda equivalent and all that. So I mean, I would definitely stick to that. You know, I
know you should stick to what's working, but like, it's just, I mean, I'm so green at this stuff. You know what I mean? I only watched Hellier a year ago. You know, like,
it's bad when you think of it.
Yeah, give me a break here. Like, you know what I mean? I'm reading and trying to learn as much as I can about this to become good at it and not be LARPing. As that word, I'm using that word far too much now since you told me.
But such a good word. I mean, it describes things so well, you know.
You could just say pretending,
but it's not just pretending. There's an active element.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. Yeah. There is a kind of a playing. Yeah, it's very. It fits. Yeah. Like there was something. One of the Druid groups I joined on the work Facebook. Strange. This fella's putting up. He's like American. Ancient Order of American Druids or something. I'll click on that. It has lots of people. Maybe we'll have something interesting. And then it's just videos of this fucking white ginger guy sprouting on about how all the wokers are going to come and get us, and we all have to join Parlour. And I went, you're a Druid. What? What are you doing? Like, you're supposed to be in love with nature. And
there's a huge kind of right-wing element to paganism, which is very, very odd. You find it more in you can find a lot of people in far right groups being way into, you know, Odin and Thor and the runes, but it does kind of bleed over into, I suspect, Druidism through that kind of pagan
Celtic
type
stuff
thing
as well.
Because you even seen it in that documentary we walked about, Suzalski, whatever his name was, where the kind of right-wing group had kind of stolen his artwork as a representation of, you know, the thing. It seems to be,
maybe it's because it's square and angular and they like that shit, whereas the Celtic stuff is a bit more flowy, roundy. I don't know. Probably not. No, but like the thing with the Celtic stuff that I'm really looking for is the Ash spoke about before is the meditation stuff. That's what I'm looking for, and I'm trying to find out as much as I can about what the Druids actually were meditating on when they meditate, because there was a tradition of meditating on stuff as well. Like, so that's what I'm looking for, you know, because like when I was doing the Magia stuff, I found I was having great success. Now that I've changed it, well, I'm still doing it, but not as much. Now that I've changed more to the more traditional kind of Buddhist stuff, I find it a bit harder.
Right.
With the noting, the Vipassana stuff. Like the meta stuff, that's fucking piss easy. That's the easiest meditation work, because you're just like, I love me, I'm great, be happy, be well, spud, wonderful. Hey, and think of someone you know, Tommy, I love you, Tommy. Tommy, be well, Tommy.
Do I not come in under the person that you find difficult to get on with?
You're like the least difficult person I know, Tommy. And then pick someone you don't like or something, and I'm like, oh, right, that's hard. It's not that it's hard to pick someone. It's hard.
Which one?
It's hard to pick one is worthy of this. It's like, who do I hate enough that I can send love to? Who do I hate the most? No, I hate that one too much.
Yeah,
and they're obviously the one you should do. But this is great, and you do that for half an hour, 20 minutes, and you're all peace and love and happiness, and everything's great. Although the noting, the passing one, it's fun. I like it.
Do you lie down or sit, or what's your posture for meditating?
I sit for that, but I lie down for Magia because he says to lie down, isn't it?
Yeah,
you're supposed to lie down all
I
of it.
asked him recently about it because I'm just going to sleep most of the time, not fully asleep, but a lot of the time I'm just having a nap, and I go, well, have that in my own time. So I switched back to Burmese lotus posture, so you're doing cross legs, but you're not doing the actual, where it goes over.
Yeah.
And it's much better, because I'm not falling asleep, and I can have a better sit. And I was asking him, should I do that, or should I lie down and have a nap? And he essentially says lie down and have a nap, and I go, yeah, I don't know, because he would say, and he says it in the audio itself, says if you fell asleep, that's what you need to do. I go, yeah, but
well, that's like your body
for 20 years.
Because you posted up a Daniel Ingram podcast yesterday. He was interviewed on it, and one of the things he said on it fairly early in it is that he said it's it's something that I didn't really go into in my book, because in my book I put loads of other people's books whose books were better than I could explain it.
Yeah,
and he was saying one of the things is that to listen to your body, and I don't speak about it in my book because I give books for people to read to learn more about it. So it's that thing that, well, yeah, if you're falling asleep, listen to your body, man. Have a rest.
I know, but I understand that, but I'm not going. If a 2-year-old, who's not sleeping during the night too much of it. So that's not going to change, So and I want to progress in the meditative thing, rather than. I understand.
I was thinking about this the other day. Who was I watching? Was it a Sadhguru or some? Maybe it was a Zen one I was watching, and I was just going these enlightened fuckers. None of these tried to become enlightened when they had kids. None of them. They
Corey
either got
did,
it,
but that's because he didn't care about his kids.
Yeah, Corey didn't give a fuck. But, maybe
apart from his last kid, his last son,
don't finish that sentence.
Yeah.
But it's there's no way you could undertake enlightenment while you have young children. You just can't.
Yeah. Because Buddha had to leave real life to go, out on his own.
Yeah, he left his wife and child, the bastard. Huh? Not awful. But
and then after enlightenment, didn't go back either. Maybe that's what enlightened is. Oh yeah, stay away from the wife and kid.
I don't know, man. You see a lot of these enlightened fellas, and they're all single men. They don't have children.
Or they have some mad sex scandal when they're in their 60s, which is always interesting.
God, I'll be too tired when I'm you want to have sex? Oh, come on. No, you're 19. You'll kill me. You'll literally kill me. I don't have the energy for you. I remember the girlfriend I had before I met Haga. She was young. She was 18, 17. No, she wasn't 17. That's illegal. She was 18, and I was 22 or something, 21, 22. And I was the gap there was just too big. She had so much energy already. She had so much energy, and she wanted to do everything all the time. And I'm just let's sleep. Let's just cuddle. Hold me. I need love. Have
you
love.
been an old man since you're 22, Spud? Jesus Christ.
I've had many midlife crises before I got to that age. I think that's why a lot of this occulty stuff kind of works for me, because there's no. You see people writing about, I'm struggling with the shadow, and I'm Jesus, been there. I know all about it.
That struggle's not going away anytime soon.
Yeah, no. That's no. You gotta speak to your mother about that.
Come down from that mountain. Tell me about your dad.
I don't know. No, but I don't think enlightenment is possible with young children. I really don't think it's possible, because you have to be. Now you have to be strict with them, but you have to. No, you do have to be strict.
But you read the Baptist Head stuff, and you listen to Duncan and stuff where he's going on about, today on Saturday, so I decided I'd meditate for 8 hours. Good for fucking you, Doug.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Nice one, yeah. Good, well done, man. Yeah, well, 8 hours. I wouldn't have 8 free hours in a week now. You know? Ah, well, I would if I tried really hard to get it. But you can't.
And the worst about it, he says, after the 8 hours, yeah, I didn't really learn anything. I was going, oh, fuck.
We wouldn't get 8 hours done in a week. Like
I didn't even get 8 hours sleep. Any wonder I'm falling asleep during meditation.
Fucking right. But there's no way. Like the thing about the strictness is that you're not strict and harsh on them, but like you have to try and bring them up properly.
Yeah.
Or what you think is proper. You know, so it's like, you know, just fucking zip up your pants, or you know, don't walk with your pockets hanging out, or don't touch the gate as you're walking home because the dog might have pissed there.
Stop hitting me. Stop hitting me. Stop hitting me. Don't throw that toy. Look, don't throw that toy.
I only hit you because I love you, okay? You made me hit you. What? Oh, horrible, fucked up shit. Yeah. But yeah, no, you can't. There's no way. Like I thought that I was kind of close or getting close, especially after the transmission thing in the hospital. But now I'm just like, you know what? Stop rushing it, because it'll happen. But it's not going to happen when you have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. You're not, because you have to. I think one of the worst things with children is that you have to shout at them. I hate shouting at them. I hate it because I hear my parents doing it.
Yeah,
you know?
I immediately hear myself in the guise of my father or mother.
But sometimes it's the only way you can stop them. You know, it's the only way you can, because like, you know, literally, like, she's about to stab him with a poker. What am I supposed to do? I'm just be like,
hold on a minute. Let's calm down here.
Let's do some meta meditation, and I will open my heart and let you into my heart as you stab my firstborn. You know? No, that's not going to happen. You know, so like you can't, and like, no, like, I don't know. I really don't know. And maybe, anyway, you know what? Maybe enlightenment was total bullshit. We don't know.
Yeah, I'm not fully convinced in it, or I'm not even. Well, like, I mean, you shouldn't be convinced on it until it happens to you anyway, because, like, you know, be skeptical about it. But also, I'm not even sure, like, it would be that helpful. It doesn't seem to help anything, you know, or it doesn't seem to change people's personalities, or or you know, how they approach life. It doesn't make you richer. It doesn't improve your earth element at all. It might improve your water element a bit, but I don't know. It's. I remember talking about Robbie Chariots Wheels ages ago. I think it was him. Tell me if I'm wrong, Robbie. But it was going like that he kind of discounted certain things because he hadn't had the personal experience. So if he hadn't have it, then obviously no one else. You know, not that they were lying, but they were fooling themselves, and then had the experience and went, all right, maybe I should have, you know, a bit wider of a kind of an approach to these things, just rather than just my own. So I understand that when it comes to enlightenment or awakening, and I do certainly have had moments where I have had insight, you know, but I don't think that's the same as what people talk. In the way when my HEA experience, when it happened, that felt the same as what people talked about. So I recognise that. So when I have kind of insights, it doesn't seem the same as the way people talk about, you know, awakening insights. I find out something about, oh shit, I've been, you know, doing this behaviour and I haven't noticed this before. It's that rather than cosmological insights where I suddenly realise, oh, the world is really something that, you know, the opposite of what I assumed it was. So, but I understand. What I mean by that is that I can understand the nature of how an insight could change you in some ways without really changing your life. You know, like learning that I played a victim an awful lot definitely changed me, but my circumstances didn't change. You know what I mean? I didn't get a new house. I didn't get a new car. You know, I didn't suddenly a camera didn't arrive. That, oh look, you know, here's your reward. And I suppose you could look to enlightened people or awakened people or people who claim that and go, I expected more or something in your life to kind of correspond to that. So maybe, you know, I'd say that's a failing in my awareness or my kind of appreciation of what enlightenment is. But again, I don't really know what it is because I haven't had it. So
yeah, it's funny because I sent you what Ingram put it into like one sentence or something, right? And he said it's seeing reality without the watcher, without kind of the filter of the watcher. Right. So it's seeing the world without the ego, basically, you know. So, yeah.
But I like the couple of people who I talk to who have had awakening experiences don't seem to see the world without a filter. They still, they claim to, possibly, but I don't know if they do. They don't talk like they do. That's probably the fairest thing I can say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can only go on the YouTubers that I watch. The Zen and yogis that I watch on YouTube, and they do seem to have a different way of looking at things. But then again, man, I mean, like, I remember I used to have that growing up. Like, people would say to me things like, yeah, you kind of see things differently. But I think it just comes from being kind of left-handed. So you're
sinister.
The other sinister, evil. I killed my twin in the womb, obviously. That's a mad thing to believe. It's not true. I don't know.
You can't prove it. Can prove nothing.
You can't prove nothing. And so I always when I learned about left-handedness and that it uses the right brain, and most people are right-handed and they use the left brain more, I should say. That's why I think I see things differently. But then, like, sometimes you'll watch a video, some Zen yogi, whatever, and they'll say something, and I'll be watching it. Well, yeah, obviously that's the way you think about it. I'm like, do people not think that way?
Yeah. I've certainly had that kind of go. Oh, this is a thing. What were you thinking? Seriously?
You didn't think that? What do normal people? It's like that thing that you've brought up a few times, that people who don't have inner monologues.
Yeah.
You're like, what? Like, what? So, like, wait, no. So, you didn't like the Jew? Wait, what? What's going on here? Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. It's, it's a strange one. But then, I don't know, maybe you get to a certain level and just your eyes are open to reality the way it's supposed to be. But, like, it's such a weird thing to even come out of your mouth. Reality as it's supposed to be. Well, like, I see reality as it is. Is that not the way it's supposed to be? And then some people who are enlightened will be like, well, you have always been enlightened, you just haven't seen it. So, like, okay, well, if I am then seeing reality as I'm seeing it, then I am enlightened. No, Spud, you can't be enlightened. Well, why can't I be? Because you're not ready. Why am I talking to myself?
Yeah, who's the judge of my readiness? Is there someone withholding? Yeah.
And like, and do you fall back a level? Like, can you get up to like level 9?
Well, I feel like I've fell back levels many a times. It's yeah, and I mean of course there's that notion of if you're already enlightened then there's nothing to do, and that's fine. But plainly there is something to do, because there's practices, there's all of these things, like, and not doing anything doesn't seem to have enlightened many people. You know what I mean? Not like, oh, don't worry about it, don't do it, just you're already enlightened. Yeah, that's the way 99% of people are in society. None of them are enlightened.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But like, it's as well with like when I went off to college, like, I think it was like, usually it's something like 1 in 10 people are left-handed. So we had a class of, I don't know, 40 people or something, and I think like 15 or nearly 18 of us, I think, were left-handed. Like, right. That's statistically odd, but it's quite common among journalists because they just there's a different way of seeing things.
Yeah. That makes sense, yeah. My wee man's left-handed as well, so that'll be interesting.
I wonder how many enlightened people are left-handed. I wonder if that's a thing.
Imagine it came out and went, oh, we've never thought about it before. Only left-handed people can become enlightened. And I'm going, I've just wasted my life. I've wasted my life.
Next thing, you're picking up your pen with your left hand and you're brushing your teeth with your left hand.
Well, it's funny. It's odd you say that, because I write with my right hand, but I do literally everything else with my left hand. As you can see, well, it's mirrored, so you can't. But I do everything with my left hand. Yeah,
that's mad.
Yeah, well, my dad's left-handed, and he got shit kicked out of him, so now he's right-handed. Because that's what you do when you're in school Ireland, in the 60s or 50s, whatever age of school, 50s.
It's like,
what's the old joke? I would give my left arm to be ambidextrous.
Yeah. I don't know, like, maybe we're pissing in the wind trying to do this. But also we're like the two lads in the Baptist said they had a kind of a roadmap. Like, we're going to do this to try and get that. Where me and you are just like, we're just going, I'll try this for a while. Try that for a while. See what this happens. See what happens if we do this.
Yeah, but there is, I suppose, the inconsistency of it. But also in the Baptist head thing, they were doing that too. They were trying different things, so it wasn't that they were doing Vipassana for 5 years or whatever. And of course, you do have the two different things. Ingram says that the noting technique and the mindfulness technique if you do one of them exclusively, you can only go so far, and it's the amalgamation of both of them that allow the greater insight in the end. So there's that. But also, I find that you can, and it's something that's kind of happened to me, I suppose, recently, is that it can become quite disenchanting to only be kind of having a kind of a thing towards enlightenment or awakening or whatever the non-annoying word is for whatever the approach is, because it kind of, as the thing we talked about before, you know, leaving things to fate or doing magic, it takes a bit of the enchantment of the world out of it, you know, and the Baptist Head stuff is brilliant in that kind of area of it, but doesn't have the kind of sense of wonder and magic and stuff that, say, when you read Liber Null for the first time that you have, not the fifth time, because it doesn't seem to be there the fifth time, but you know, that kind of, I think there's a bit, it's very serious, you know, serious work, you know, there's no play in it so much, or there's no fun, or there's no just a sense of, like, for all the talk of bliss that, you know, happens through it, it doesn't seem to translate into the life. The people seem to be very serious and very kind of, a lot of them seem to be a bit doom porny or something like that, you know. And I think I need to re-enchant myself a bit. I need to actually go into a bit of practical magic and have a bit of fun, you know, because even that's kind of frowned on. You shouldn't, you know, engage with the illusion of Maya, blah blah blah, blah, all that kind of stuff. So I think that can be kind of something that people could consider, that, you know, that there's a definite lack of fun in awakening practices.
Do you know what? I was thinking about last week's podcast, and we were kind of going through what kind of magic is and isn't for us. Yeah. And something I didn't think of at the time. I thought of it the other day. Is that I think trying to. This is going to sound fucking mad.
Hold on, do I need my spud buzzer? Hold on, I'll just get my spud buzzer line.
No. It's not bad or controversial, but it's that, like, trying to, if you can kind of attune into your world and into what's around you, and it's that thing of letting yourself go. Like, one of the favourite episodes I've done with you is the one I told you about when I came back from working with the father-in-law, and I had just made no decisions for like 10 days.
Yeah.
Just let the world take over, kind of thing. And so I'll show you how this has worked for me the last week, right? There's a little park not far from me, and they cut down 2 massive red oak trees that were dying.
Oh, okay.
They were dying, so they had to go. There would have been a bad wind, and it would have fallen over and could hurt someone, so they had to cut them down. But Spud's into carpentry now. Right? So Spud sees 2 big fucking trees cut down, and they're cut into sections as well. And I went, I'm fucking having some of that, lads.
Yeah.
Definitely having some of that. So last Tuesday, I got the kids' sleigh for snow, because we have the sleighs here for when it gets really bad. I took the sleigh, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning, and I got this big, huge fucking trunk of tree and put it in the sledge, and it didn't fit, and I went, okay, that's not good. So I tried anyway to bring it down the hill, and it fell. I went, no, that's not good. And I put it back into the sleigh, and I came back down the hill, and it fell again. And as I was picking up the next time, this old fella came around me, and he kind of giving me daggers and looking at me kind of stuff. And I went, yeah, that's not good. I've been caught now, you know, because like he can ring the city police, because you're not supposed to take anything from a public park, you know, obviously, or you know, litter it, or
well, what they don't tell you is that you can take the ducks home. I have 458 ducks.
And some penguin. I don't know where the penguin went. And then another woman came around the corner and went, you know what? This has all the hallmarks of not doing this. Oh, and I left out a bit at the start. When I drove down there at the start, there was some people in the glow shirts. They had litter picker uppers. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like, so then I just put them all together and went, the signs were telling me, stay out of it. Just don't do it. What was I doing? Like, you idiot. Like, I've been told by 4 different things here, don't do this. So I saw it. However, under the cover of darkness, I returned.
Right.
And this time I had an old pram from the young lads, and the thing fucking faded in like a fucking glove. So it did.
Right.
And it was pitch black. No one saw me. And then I was coming down the hill with the thing, and I turned around and I went, and there was these blue sirens, and I went, oh, fuck. I'm caught. And then I realised, nah, man, there's a hospital like literally right there. It's just an ambulance. So I just got home with this thing, and it's about the height of a wheel of my car and nearly as thick. And so I did that twice. And
Nice.
but what I mean is that, like, to try and tune in to what signs are around, and I'm guilty of not paying attention, and I don't know if there's signs from someone or anything. I don't know, but if it sounds weird, Tommy, help me out explaining it here. I think you can tune in to things that's going around you, and it's kind of like even like take some cues off people, like when your kid comes up and says, "Tata, I want to play." Stop what you're doing and play, or else say, right, look, I need 5 minutes to finish this, and then go off and play. Because
it's the thing Crowley says, isn't it? You choose everything that happens to you as a direct, communication from God, whatever. It's the magistry, the thing that happens after cross you bet. That's the oath you take it, whatever. The problem I find with that is that you end up being a QAnon shaman. Having asked God 3 times and he didn't say no. But I just want to go back to your thing. We should do a Jonathan Pajot on the symbolism of you. Because like you did say, you were going up a mountain, you were going up a kind of a hill, and there was a tree which is definitely representation of the tree of good and knowledge, and you fell 3 times, just like Jesus. And it was only when you came into the dark night of the soul that things finally come into place together. It's the old story.
Interesting.
It's the Jesus story.
That's very interesting. That is, I like
cosmological.
That's the best fucking Jonathan Pajot impression I've ever come across. That's fantastic. You should edit that in. You should edit that into the start of the podcast. That's fucking brilliant. I love that. Yeah, he hasn't done a video on the coup yet. I'm still waiting, Jonathan. I know you listen.
He's too busy getting scared that he's going to get chucked off. He was getting he did a Facebook Live thing yet, and a bit frantic, to be fair. No, he'd be alright. I can't see him going off. He's alright. It's okay. I don't like the stuff he does, but it's not that controversial. It's not controversial. Well, he's conservative Christian, but that's
yeah. But so what?
So is
he's not.
So is the guy in Ireland
Jordan
here who
Peterson.
does mass and so, he did think he was going to. He's still on YouTube. He doesn't look well, Jordan Peterson, at all.
No, he didn't look well, does he? No, he looks awful.
Yeah.
Eat some fucking lobster or something, man. Some fat.
Yeah, anything.
Get a jar of goose fat and heat it up and just drink it.
Stop that meme you said. It's all over Reddit.
Just search for goose fat Paris Hilton and enjoy the laughs. No, but it's Tommy. It's the reading the signs thing is something I forget, and I don't do it, and then I find myself getting annoyed and pissed off, and it's only from fucking bitter experience, because I had made my life so tough for so many years and battling against everything, that I can realise that, you know what, if you just surrender a bit to what's going on around you, it's grand. Like even the other day, the father-in-law rang us and said, yeah, look, I'm after getting some free chairs a couple of towns over from me. Will you go and get them? And straight away, the ego jumps in and says, no, fuck that. Who does he think he is telling me fucking to do stuff? And then Aga's like, yeah, the fucking chairs are horrible as well. Like, they spend all this money doing up the place. The thing is disgusting. Why are they doing these horrible chairs? And then she got into a kind of an argument with her mother saying, don't get these chairs. They look horrible. The inside of the house looks so nice, and then you're going to ruin it with this. And yeah. And I'm going fucking driving off with someone. And you know what? I went for the drive yesterday. I drove through absolutely beautiful Polish countryside, and I got the chairs. I came home, and everything was great. So it's just get the fuck out of your own way.
Yeah. No, there is definitely a lot to be said in that. I do, and I've in fact made a number of videos espousing the exact same theory, and it is true.
But we forget it, don't we? And
there's also there is a danger to it in that you can start seeing signs for things that aren't there. It's usually in a negative sense. You'll start kind of seeing patterns and seeing things that it's like I don't know, you're 20 and you've had sex with someone, and then you start seeing baby ads everywhere. You know, under baby food. Oh shit, Nick.
No.
Is there an awful lot of babies in the street today? You know, it's sometimes, and then, you know, 6 months later you don't have a baby, and you go, what the fuck was that about? You know. So but there is kind of recognising, I suppose, the there's a fear in you, and you're kind of, you know, or there's something that's in a sense layering over this thing, you know, that you are in fact creating these signs rather than the sinks and stuff like that. But there is I mean, it is that thing that you can end up convincing. Robert Anton is great in this. You can end up convincing yourself that you're getting signs for literally anything. So you have to be a bit kind of distinguishing or aware. Don't act on something if it's going to be massively detrimental to your life if you're wrong. For a start, don't do, or don't, it's like if you have an intuition to maybe take your eye out, probably not do that, but like, go and collect the chairs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If someone asks for a favour, do them the fucking favour, because it doesn't cost you anything except a little bit of petrol, and plus, like, it's really nice to help people. It's really fucking nice to help. Like the thing, your book thing, Yeah,
that's
like,
cool, yeah.
Just bought a book for someone. Like, I have no fucking idea who she is. Hopefully she'll read it. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. She's really nice.
I
know her, and she hasn't been reading because she has kids, and so she's trying to take this as the excuse to get back into reading. And I think she's going to get like 15 books or something if everyone agrees.
I mean, I hope she likes Alistair Crowley. Like,
yeah.
She will. After
she's
this.
into the Satanic Bible. I mean, like, what? I bought the KLF book for the person I had to buy a book from. I thought.
Oh, great. I don't know. I'm going to have to try and read more signs now today, or else just not get out of my way or get out of my own way. I don't know. It's something that hit me after the podcast that didn't come up during the podcast. Because I know myself that when I get down and miserable, it's because I'm trying to force life rather than just go with it, And that's I know that's a bit transurfy and just go with the flow, man. The universe will look after you. But like, I don't think it's that the universe will look after you. I think it's the people around you will look after you. Is that not better?
Even. Well, maybe, but also it's a lot of the energy you're expending is on things that you've no control over anyway. So you you'll end up feeling better by releasing some of that stuff. Like if you can just go, like if I can just go, well, let Parlour look after itself. Nothing I can do about it anyway. Let the future. Then I don't think it changes the future. I don't think the universe is looking after me. I don't think any of the implications that's going to come out of the whole thing is going to change. But right now, I'm not worrying.
Yeah. I had to. You got me, because we had this fella on one of the groups the other day, and he's after joining the group and the website, and he's lost €900 in 5 days from betting, and he was blaming us. Which is me, obviously, because I look after the thing. I look after the website. It's not my website. It's not my thing, but I look after the website. So he's blaming the company.
The social media dude for it.
Yeah, I'm the fucking whatever. Point of contact, isn't that it?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I have to step in and say, why have you lost €900? What's going on? I said, I've been just following these stats. I don't really know anything about football. And I wrote back like, you're betting on football and you don't know anything about football. Oh yeah. And and at the same time, the young fella was trying to like, Tata, come and play, Tata, while all this was going on,
Yeah.
So like when he wrote that last bit, I just went, I just put the computer on sleep and went play with the kids for half an hour, because I'm just like, you can't. What are you supposed to do in that situation? Like, I feel sorry for you, you've lost that much money, but like, you don't know anything about the thing you're spending the money on. It's like, you wouldn't invest stocks. You wouldn't invest in stocks. You wouldn't invest in stocks if you didn't know, like, at least the name of the fucking company. It's like,
I know people do though. Obviously,
it just blew my mind, like, that someone would be that risky and that flippant or stupid, irresponsible.
Maybe they were following signs and they thought the universe had their back.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Look, I mean, the smartest thing about me, Tommy, is that I don't know. I know I don't know shit. you know.
Yeah.
And so don't ever listen to that, and I say, because it's probably wrong. Probably.
All right, like,
I
but
don't
I mean,
know.
widen that to everyone. I don't think it's exclusive to Spud. Don't listen to anyone. Make your own decision up. And equally, don't listen to your own shite either. Like, I've been wrong about so many things that even when I have a good idea, I go, yeah, but I'm probably wrong. So let's not take that too seriously.
Yeah, let's park that. Let's park that bus with the bombs for a while. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think, we could all be a bit nicer to ourselves and just.
Yeah. It's good to see we didn't get to the documentary again. That's always interesting.
yeah, we'll have to do it next week. I liked it. I know you didn't like it. You hated it, didn't you?
I thought it was the worst documentary I've ever seen in my life.
I loved it. I thought it was class. Yeah, we'll have to wait till next week. Right. Bye-bye.
Bye.